Welcome to The Foundry by Forge College. Today, we're diving into the explainer for session management in hybrid systems. This is a core lesson in our Web 2 Solana integration foundations, specifically looking at authentication flows in hybrid applications, which is all part of our broader track on Web 2 integration and API development on Solana. Today, we're going to cure one of the absolute biggest headaches in Web 3, and that is prompt fatigue. Because let's be real, nobody wants to cryptographically sign their life away just to hit a like button, right? Here's our agenda for the blueprint today. We're covering 1. The hybrid session problem, 2. Stateful versus stateless architectures, 3. The core endpoints, 4. Atomic refresh rotation, and finally 5. Bridging Web 2 and Solana. Let's jump right into section 1, the hybrid session problem. So, if you caught our last explainer on AI-assisted iteration for dynamic metadata, you know we built some seriously cool stuff. But now we are facing a massive UX roadblock. Users absolutely despise constant wallet approvals. Think about it for a second. Should someone really have to sign a complex transaction, paying gas, and waiting around for network confirmations just to update their profile picture to a cute cat? No way. It's clunky, it's frustrating, and honestly, it kills user engagement right on the spot. That brings us to section 2, stateful versus stateless architectures. To engineer our way out of this prompt fatigue mess, we've got to completely upgrade our token mechanics. I love this comparison because it just perfectly hits the nail on the head. On the left, you've got stateless tokens. These are basically like unrevocable VIP wristbands at a club. Once you slap that wristband on a user, they're in until it naturally expires. You can't just easily take it back. But on the right, a stateful session. That's like a bouncer with an earpiece. The bouncer is constantly checking a live master list back on the server. If a token gets compromised, the server just whispers to the bouncer, and boom, access is instantly cut off. For hybrid apps, we absolutely need that bouncer to ensure instant revocation and airtight security. Now, how do we actually pass that bouncer's list between the client and the server? Well, we basically have two main transport tools. First, we can use secure HTTP-only cookies. These are fantastic for browser-based hybrid clients. You just have to remember to set your attributes to same site equals none and secure. Otherwise, they'll just silently fail across different origins and drive you crazy. Your other option, bare headers. These are way better for API clients, but they do require you to manually and very carefully handle the storage on the client side. But here's the catch. None of this works without a strict expiration date. And that brings us to session TTL, or time to live. Think of this as the strict lifespan of a session record stored in your backend, usually inside a lightning-fast database like Redis. The moment that TTL hits 0, the record automatically self-destructs, no trace left. This is exactly what keeps your whole system clean, secure, and totally predictable. Let's move on to section 3, the core endpoints. Let's lift the hood and look at how this architecture translates into the actual engine block for our backend. We're essentially building a minimal session service. Let's just call it small app for now. Built with node.js and Redis, this app seamlessly orchestrates 3 specific things. First, a create endpoint. This validates your initial tokens and writes the session state. Then, a refresh endpoint to safely rotate those tokens. And finally, a validate endpoint that specifically checks the state right before we authorize any action on the Solana blockchain. All right, section 4, atomic refresh rotation. Now we're getting to the most delicate part of machinery, and honestly, where a lot of implementations totally fail. The absolutely crucial point in our engine's rotation mechanism is keeping the gears perfectly synced. We have to process the refresh flow atomically. What does that mean? It means we validate the incoming token, mark it as revoked so it can literally never be used again, issue a brand new one, and update that TTL, all in one single unbreakable transaction. If you don't do this atomically, you risk a race condition where 2 simultaneous requests could potentially reuse stolen tokens, and we definitely do not want that. I really want to highlight a massive pitfall right here. Failing to update that TTL on a refresh, it's going to cause your users to be unexpectedly logged out right in the middle of whatever they're doing. In all our other programs and learning tracks here at Forge College, we constantly hammer home that UX is just as important as security. Missing this one simple TTL update is a guaranteed way to just completely ruin the user experience. And finally, section 5, bridging Web 2 and Solana. This brings us to the final piece of the blueprint, securely bridging our traditional Web 2 backend directly to the chain. Check out this golden rule for our Solana-aware endpoints. Return short-lived server nonces instead of forcing wallet prompts. Instead of constantly pestering the user, we use their already authenticated backend session to just quietly generate a temporary server-signed ticket, a nonce. So how does that actually play out in practice? Well, your server reads the session from the cookie or the header. It double-checks if the session is still valid and grabs the relevant metadata, like, say, the user's preferred wallet address. Then it simply returns that context for the on-chain relay. By doing it this way, your server handles relaying the contextual info securely to the chain on the user's behalf. No pop-ups, no spam, just completely smooth, authenticated actions. It's honestly like magic. But hey, an engineering blueprint is really only as good as its testing phase, right? You should always test your logic by simulating 2 concurrent refresh attempts at the exact same millisecond. You need to verify that the second request absolutely fails. That is the only real way to prove your atomicity actually works in the wild and keeps your users protected. Which leads us to our conclusion and next steps. Let's take a quick step back and review what we've built together today. We successfully mapped out how to bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 UX. We replaced those endless, annoying wallet prompts with a highly secure, stateful session layer. We utilized atomic rotation to completely block token theft, and we leveraged short-lived nonces to keep all our blockchain interactions completely frictionless. This perfectly sets the stage for our next explainer on multi-device authentication and token binding. So make sure you head over to forge.college to learn more about this subject, dive deep into the code, and explore our other fascinating Web3-related topics. And I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to go test your own architecture. If your backend was compromised right now, literally this very second, how long would an attacker have free reign before your stateless VIP wristbands finally expired? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for exploring this blueprint with me today. Keep building securely, and I'll catch you in the next one.